sunshine, happy Wednesday. I know it's been a minute since you've seen me. I had a fever for a week, and then the other 2 weeks, I don't have an excuse. So there. I thought it'd be like particularly funny if I did like following so-and-so's makeup tutorial. I thought maybe instead of doing one of their more recent tutorials where they're like good at makeup, maybe go closer to when they started to kind of humble them. So I've decided we're gonna do the first James Charles makeup tutorial ever. And I know he did recreate this, but we're not gonna do his recreation, we're gonna do the first one. Because why not? So I'm gonna get my beauty blender wet, and then let's just do it. Okay, hair out of the way. It's not pretty, but it's out of the way and that's what matters. Okay, I'm gonna press play.
Oh Lord, here we go.
His eyes look so small.
Hi
Like you would
guys,
think
my
that he had
name's
had
James.
like
Those of you who
a
don't know
procedure
me,
done or
I'm a
something.
16-year-old makeup artist from New York, and I run
16?
the Instagram page J Charles. Hi guys, I'm gonna be starting off today using my Benefit Professional.
He uses Professional all over. Lucky for him, I have Benefit Professional. So we're putting it all over our face, which I don't usually do. I typically like only put it on my nose and under my eyes. But let's go for it. Okay, next.
Next, I'm going into my LA Girl Pro Color Correcting Concealer in orange, just to color correct my 5 o'clock shadow and my under eye circles.
Don't need to color correct 5 o'clock shadow.
Now I'm going into my Makeup Forever HD Ultra Foundation in the shade Y255 and just putting a bunch of little dots all over my face. Obviously we're going to blend these out later on, but it just helps create a really even application.
Okay, going in with foundation. He has Makeup Forever, I have Fenty Beauty. Sure. And he's using a beauty blender. He's picking it up with his beauty blender. Should I also do that? Let's do it then, I guess. This is what he does. He shows you his hand and then like picks it up and like... I still have like half the foundation I put on me on my hand. So I'm just gonna wipe it off. That was not fun. Why did he make me do that? Next.
To highlight my face, I'm using my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Porcelain. I'm drawing little triangles on my face, in the middle of my forehead, in the middle of my chin, on my mustache area, and just one line down the center of my nose.
Okay, well I don't have the LA Pro foundation, but I do have Shape Tape, so we're gonna go in with Shape Tape in my shade, and not James Charles' shade. And he draws triangles under his eyes with a lot of concealer. So that's what I will do. I hate using a beauty blender to get under my eyes. I feel like I get foundation and concealer like in my eyeballs. Also, I've used way too much. So there. Okay, face highlighted.
Now I'm setting my entire face using Coty Airspun powder because I am done with the liquids and creams. This will help to set everything in place and to reduce creasage.
He's using setting powder. Ah, God, setting powder. He hasn't contoured. Let's put powder before we put down our contour, I guess. James Charles, beauty influencer of the world.
To further highlight my face, I'm going to use my Morphe E48 brush and this light color from my Lunatic Cosmetics Contour Lab.
So I don't have a Morphe E48 brush, and I don't have that powder, but I'll use my Kat Von D Shade and Light, you know, palette, that's the word, and take a similar brush that's like rounded, and I'll take a similar-ish brush and figure it out. He just pats it under his under eye, which is great, you know, do that. I contour first. I haven't watched too many James Charles tutorials, but I contour before I powder my whole face. So this is going to be really interesting for me.
To contour today, I'm using my Morphe M523 brush and my Makeup Geek contour pans. These colors are literally so good and they are so pigmented.
Contouring. I have Kat Von D. I bought this before she said she wasn't going to vaccinate her kids, so don't hate me, please.
Next, to further define my contour, I'm using the same brush as before and Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear. It is an eyeshadow, but I never use blush in my look, so this really helps to just warm everything up.
We're not doing blush or bronzer or whatever. He's using a brown eyeshadow and doing a deeper contour with the same brush he just used. So let's do that. I just so happen to have the James Charles X Morphe palette, so I will be using, what color is this? No Beans, to make this look. It's very pigmented, so I'm gonna like tap off a bunch of excess powder before attempting to do this. It looks, I'm really afraid that it's gonna look real bad. This looks so awful. Why would he suggest this? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna do blush because he didn't do blush, but this is the worst. I hate this. Okay.
Next, I'm just baking my face using my, once again, Coty Airspun powder and my powder puff. I'm just drawing two really harsh defined lines from the tops of my ears to right above the corner of my mouth. This will help really carve out that contour.
Next, baking. He's using like the same sponge used for setting powder, but I don't have a sponge like that, so I'm going to use a dry beauty blender. So, we've baked.
And with whatever's left on the powder puff, I'm just going to put underneath my eyes and in the center of my forehead because I literally use so much facial expression when I talk. My face creases so badly, so doing this helps decrease the creasage, if that makes any sense.
Under the eyes.
Now to start the eyes. I did my brows off camera just because I tried and the angles turned out so bad. I promise I will do a proud tutorial later on, but for now we're just going to stick with this.
His eyebrows off camera. So I'll do my eyebrows right now.
So to start off, I'm using Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie and my Morphe M441 brush just to get a nice transition shade going in my crease. For this entire look, I used my Morphe 35K palette. Since the shades don't have actual names, I'll just be like describing them. Really, all you need to know is that I used a light, a medium, and a dark brown to create the halo eye effect, and then obviously I'm going to be going
Okay, he's using a Morphe palette. It's like a lightish brown. I don't think I have, no, I don't have the M44. So I'm just going to use my Bronzed Mocha 25B palette and use the shade, what kind of shade is it? Use the shade Seek to get the same sort of situation happening. He's using like a blending brush, so I'm going to use a Morphe R38 brush.
To further define that halo eye, I'm using my Morphe M441 and once again just a medium brown tone from the 35K palette. I'm putting that in the inner and outer V's of the eyes and then just taking whatever excess product is left and going in windshield wipers just to define that crease.
Okay, it's like a halo eye, so I'm going to take the darkest brown, not the darkest brown, I'm going to take a darker brown than the previous ones. Let's do effort in this palette. And go in with like a flatter brush. He's using a rounder brush, but go in with like a flatter brush and do kind of on these sides.
Now for the pop of color. I'm spritzing my flat definer brush with Max Fix Plus and then going into the Makeup Geek Houdini. I'm just packing this all over the center of my lid and making sure to blend it up to my crease, but not taking it up too far because we don't want it to get muddy and gross.
Okay. Blue setting powder. Brush onto blue. I don't have the Makeup Geek color, but I do have the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and I'm going to use this one. I'm hoping that it looks semi-similar. It takes like a flat brush, and it takes Mac Fix Plus, sprays it. I know you're not supposed to do this anymore. We've grown and moved on, but I'm going to dip it into this Jaclyn Hill thing and really concentrate. Put it into the center of your eye.
Next, I'm going in with Typhoon. It's a Makeup Geek duochrome eyeshadow. It's just green and blue, and I'm focusing that right on the center of the lid, and that's just with the tiny Morphe definer brush.
Okay, next he uses a greeny sparkle, which I definitely don't have. He uses a tiny brush and takes the green sparkle and puts it like all across, like just in a center, like little like highlight situation, and he doesn't mention that he sprays it, so I'm not gonna spray it. And go in the center, in the middle. It doesn't look good. It doesn't. Am I bad at makeup? Yes. But did James Charles give bad directions? Yes.
I'm just going back in with my M509 and a dark brown from the 35K just to make sure all the edges are super blown out and there's no harsh lines.
He takes his dark brown and goes back in and blends it out and to make sure there's no harsh lines. So that's what I'm doing. This looks incredibly bad. Okay.
In the waterline, I'm just going in with the Italia Deluxe eye pencil in turquoise. I got this at the Morphe store. If you don't have this eye pencil, you can easily just do black. It's really up to you, but I wanted another pop of color on the bottom.
He has a turquoise eyeliner. I don't have a turquoise eyeliner. I have a black eyeliner. Okay. He said you could easily just do black. So in the waterline of my eye, which I hate putting makeup into, I will now be putting liquid eyeliner. I hate doing that. Oh my gosh. It's in my eyeball. My eyeball is black. Okay. And it's all off my eye, so I'm not doing that anymore. And I will now have black tears until I wash my makeup off. Good job, Lacey. Good thinking.
I actually lost the clip, but I did use the NYX Jumbo eye pencil in Black Bean just to mimic the halo effect that we have going on the upper lid, and then once I did that, I'm just going back under the lower lash line to blend everything out and connect it back up to the top.
He's putting a dark brown under his eyelid. I hate putting stuff under my eyelid, and I'm bad at it. So, let's go. Okay, let's blend it. Oh wow. This is a bad brush. Why do I own this brush? Okay. Did he wipe off his bake? He went all the way across. He went all the way across, so I think Lacey, that's like 14, is in love with this look. I think Lacey that's 21, not so much. I look like I have a black eye. Like, what is this?
I'm just going in now with my favorite mascara, Benefit Roller Lash. It's so good and makes my eyelashes look so long and not clumpy, so I would definitely recommend.
So he's using mascara. I have the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It's like a travel size, because I got it as a sample, and I haven't decided if I want to buy the new one, the real one or not.
To highlight, I'm just spritzing my brush again with MAC Fix Plus to make it super defined, and then mixing these two colors from my Anastasia Glow Kit. Now we pack that highlight on like there's no tomorrow. Remember, the goal is that your highlight can be seen from space and that you blind everybody walking by.
Alright, so he sprays MAC Fix Plus on a highlighting brush and then mixes a pink and a gold shade from a highlighting palette. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my Bretman Rock Morphe Babe in Paradise highlighting palette. I'm gonna use the pink shade this pink shade and this gold shade, mix them together, spray it with MAC Fix Plus, put it on my face. Oh, it's like wet on my face. Okay, I'm fine. I'm having such a good time, Mr. Charles. Thank you for inviting me.
For my lips today, I'm using Ofra Brooklyn. You guys always ask what liquid lipsticks I like best, and they're definitely Ofra. The formulation is so good and they don't dry crusty and gross like so many other brands do.
He's using a dark red for his lips. So I'll use Jeffree Star Designer Blood and go in there.
As an optional last step, I went ahead and I added Houdini all over my lips just for a cool duochrome effect. And that, guys, is the finished look. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!
So he's putting, it's an optional last step. But I don't like the red lips with this. So he's gonna take one of the shades he used on his eyes and put it all over his lip with his finger, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I hate this. This is not fun. So I'm just gonna do some James Charles-y dramatic shots with this finished look. And then great. I hope you have a good week. I'll see you tomorrow. The rest of you I'll see you next week. Bye. Look at this. This is bad. This is bad. He does a line down his nose. Okay, that's a curved line. So glad he did this. Wow, so fun. So much fun. On his forehead, which he does jokingly call a 5 head. So we'll do that. Everything's not fine.